Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unlock the secrets hidden within the world of finance. And today we are diving deep into a proxy statement for a company called Agriculture, a Natural Solutions Acquisition Corporation. This is quite an interesting read because it is all about extending deadlines and getting more time to find that elusive business combination. So get ready because we are about to decode what this means for shareholders. So what is this filing all about? Well, agriculture and natural solutions. Acquisition Corporation, also known as ANS. C is basically a company that was set up to find and buy another company, a special kind of company called a Special Purpose Acquisition Company, or SPAC. And they have a deadline to do this. And if they don't, they have to give their investors money back and right now. They are asking their shareholders for more time to find that perfect business to buy. The main event here is proposal number 1. The extension amendment proposal, which sounds super technical, but really it is just a request to push back the date by which ANSC has to find a business to combine with their current deadline, is the 13th of November 2025, which is about a year and a half after their initial public offering or IPO. But they feel they need more time to find the right business deal, and let us be honest, finding a good business to buy is not always easy, especially in today's market, so they want to extend this deadline to the 13th of November 2026. That is an extra year to get the job done. Now, why do they need this extra time? Well, they explain that the board of directors believes that there may not be sufficient time on or before the current termination date to complete an initial business combination. And if they fail to do so, the company would be forced to liquidate and give all the money back to the shareholders. This is the worst case scenario for a SPAC because it means the whole exercise was for nothing. So they are trying to avoid that by getting this extension and doing it right. And what happens if the shareholders say no to this extension? Well, the filing is very clear if the extension amendment proposal is not approved and a business combination is not completed on or before the current termination date. The company will cease all operations except for the purpose of winding up, and as quickly as possible they will redeem all the public shares. That means everyone gets their initial investment back, minus some small costs for winding things down, and the company will just disappear. This is why shareholders are being asked to vote for this extension, because if they don't, they might just get their money back with no chance of it growing from a successful business combination. Now, when they ask for this extension, they also have to give shareholders the chance to cash out their shares. This is called redemption rights, and it is a crucial part offer ends. CS structure holders of the Class A ordinary shares, also known as public shares, can choose to redeem their shares for their pro rata portion of the money held in the trust account, basically their share of the original investment pool, minus some fees, and this is a decision shareholders can make regardless of how they vote on the extension proposal. It is their money and they have the right to get it back if they are not comfortable with the company taking more time to find a deal. There is a detail about how the company will get more funds if the extension is approved. The warrant holding sponsor, which is related to the company founders, will deposit an additional $0.02 per outstanding public share into the trust account every month. In exchange for a promissory note, basically an IOU, this is to help fund the operations and redemptions while they search for a business com. By nation, it is a way for the sponsors to show they are committed and also to potentially increase the amount available for redemptions if a deal does not happen. Now, when we look at who benefits here, the initial shareholders, including the sponsor and the company's directors, have a significant interest in this extension. These are the people who bought shares early on at a much lower price, and they stand to gain a lot if the company finds a good business to combine with. They paid a lot less per share than the public investors. And if the company liquidates, they lose their entire invest. Meant while public investors get their money back, so they really want this deal to happen. Let us dig into those interests a bit deeper. The initial shareholders paid a tiny amount for their Class B ordinary shares, and these shares, if the company succeeds, could be worth a fortune compared to what public shareholders paid for their class. Shares also, they are not entitled to redemption rights from the trust fund, like the public shareholders are. Additionally, the sponsor and founders paid for private placement warrants, and if the company liquidates, these are worthless. They want the company to succeed to make their warrants valuable. This creates a strong incentive for them to push for the extension and ultimately a business combination. Here is a critical piece of information for shareholders trying to understand the voting mathematics. The approval of the extension amendment proposal requires a special resolution, which means at least 2/3 of the votes cast must be in favor. So if all shares are present and vote, we are talking about needing over 20 million public shares to vote for it. That is a huge number and shows how important shareholder participation really is. The adjournment proposal, however, only needs a simple majority, so that is much easier to pass. This section is a bit dry, but super important for anyone considering redeeming their shares. It basically outlines the tax implications for investors when they get their money back for their shares for you. Investors, this redemption is treated as a taxable event. It could be treated as a sale or a dividend depending on your individual circumstances and how many shares you own relative to others. So if you are a US investor, definitely talk to your tax advisor before you decide to redeem. And if all that was not technical enough, we have the Passive Foreign Investment Company, or PFIC. These rules can make things very complicated for US investors if the company is deemed a PFIC, which A ends. C believes it likely is until it completes a business combination. This can lead to higher taxes and interest charges on any gains or excess distributions without special elections like a qualified electing fund or QEF. Election or a mark-to-market election, this could really eat into your returns. So this is another area where professional tax advice is crucial. Let us look at who owns what as of the record date for this meeting. We see a few large institutional investors like W. R. Berkeley Corporation and Wealthspring Capital LLC holding significant chunks of Class A shares. Then we have the initial shareholders, the sponsor, and directors who hold all of the Class B shares. These Class B shares get special voting rights and are important for the company's future plans. The sponsor, Agriculture and Natural Solutions Acquisition Sponsor LLC, along with its affiliates, clearly has the largest stake in the Class B shares, that is 8.2 million shares, and that represents 19.1% of the outstanding shares. All of these initial shareholders together own 20% of the total shares, and as we saw, they are critical for the shareholder vote. So to wrap up what we have discussed, the company Agriculture and Natural Solutions Acquisition Corporation is asking its shareholders to approve extending the deadline to find a business to buy. The main reason is that they believe they need more time to find a good deal and avoid liquidating and giving investors their money back. This is a pretty common move for SPACs that are running out of time, but it does come with risk. For shareholders, including the potential for more dilution and the need to exercise redemption rights, if they are not comfortable with the extension. The board of directors is unanimously recommending that shareholders vote for both proposals, the extension amendment proposal and the adjournment proposal. They believe it is in the best interest of the company and its shareholders to get this extension and continue the search for a business combination. Alright, so what is my take on all of this? On one hand, Agriculture and Natural Solutions Acquisition Corporation is trying to do the responsible thing by asking for more time to find a good deal, rather than rushing into something that might not be beneficial for their investors. This extension also gives shareholders a chance to redeem out if they are not comfortable with the extended timeline. However, on the other hand, SPACs that keep extending their deadlines can sometimes signal a struggle to find a suitable target, and that can create uncertainty. This situation presents a classic SPAC dilemma. Shareholders are relying on management to find a good business, but they also have the power to redeem their shares if they lose confidence. The significant holdings of the initial shareholders and the SPAC indicate their strong vested interest in making a deal happen, which could be a positive sign of commitment, but also raises potential conflicts of interest to watch out for. Overall, the success of Agriculture and Natural Solutions Acquisition Corporation now hinges on its ability to find and close a business combination within this extended time frame. The key for investors is weighing the potential upside of a successful merger against the risk of continued delays or a less than ideal deal. Ultimately, the power lies with the shareholders to decide if they trust management to deliver on their promise. Alright, that is our deep dive into the Agriculture and Natural Solutions Acquisition Corporation filing. What do you think about this extension request and the SPAC landscape? In general, drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and definitely subscribe for more corporate decoding sessions. And remember to join our growing community on Discord. The link is in the description for more exclusive content and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.